I'm installing the fan at the front of the van because we're going to have two slider windows at the back. So when we have those open, I want to be able to turn the fan on and get air circulation all the way through the van. This is kind of going to also be more where the stove will go. So if we want to blow air out while we're cooking, we'll be able to do that. All right, so I got my little inner ring of the fan that will drop down through the roof. I have it all traced out, ready to cut. I put tape down around the line I'm cutting so that my jigsaw doesn't scratch it. And wish me luck. Kind of nervous.
Good luck.
So I'm going to take this box. I'm going to tape it up right here underneath where I'm cutting, just to help kind of keep the metal debris intact, so we don't have it all over the seats and all over the place for me to vacuum up, or at least I won't have to vacuum up as much. All right, and so as you can see, as I'm cutting, I'm kind of stopping here and there, and I'm putting some tape around the edges, just kind of like this, just laying it on, because as you cut with the jigsaw, obviously it's vibrating a lot. It's going to vibrate and flap around, making it really hard to cut. So now I am taking butyl tape and I'm putting butyl tape on the side of my fan frame that's going to be dropped into the roof of the van to help seal it. And don't be like me and buy the super skinny butyl tape. Buy the stuff that will actually fit on here. I believe it's 1 inch, but this is what I saw at Home Depot first, so I grabbed it, make it work. Okay, so our hole's cut, and I spray painted it with, I don't have the spray paint up here, but it's just a direct metal spray paint just to protect where I cut so that it doesn't rust out. So once the paint's dry now, I'm gonna drop this in. I got my butyl tape all around the edges. And when you do this with the Maxx fan, you want to make sure that these tabs with the screw holes are on the passenger and driver side, because that's where you're going to be screwing the fan down into the frame. Let's join me back inside the van for the next step. Okay, now I got these 1x2s that I previously cut and I painted. I believe it was Jason Klunk's video that I was watching, and so really good point. I'm going to put them up around the edges like this. I'm going to clamp them down, and then from the top I'll drill my pilot holes to screw down into this, just because then that way I have something to screw into instead of just going through the metal. It'll give me, in my opinion, it'll give me a better grip. Got everything clamped down. I got my pieces of wood underneath. I'm going to be using a 7/64 inch drill bit, and it's kind of small. I did a little test run already, but I want to make sure I still get a good grip with my screws that I'm putting in. So I'm just going to go around the whole thing and do that. now, oh man, really don't want to fall, first of all. So I'm using self-leveling lap sealant now. It's made for RV roofs and things like this. So I'm basically just going to go all the way around the edges, cover the screw. I'm probably going to do a couple layers so that it's really thick. I do not want this to leak. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the fan in. Caulking is pretty well dry, or for the most part, at least not tacky. So I'm gonna drop the fan in. I'm gonna hook it up to a 12-volt power source so I can open the fan. And then I'll be able to come up and screw my fan into the holes. There we go. Okay, so I have a 12-volt power supply up here that I have plugged in. I'm going to connect it to this fan to pump the 12 volts in so I can open it. Remember, on this fan, the black is the positive. It is labeled on the fan, and your white is negative. So don't get that crossed up because you can't blow the motor or the fan up if you do that. I'm going to check. Positive, positive. And I already got my power supply set to 12 volts. Cool. So I'll just leave it on for now. I'm gonna go back up and make it. Okay, and I'm just putting the last 4 screws in to hold the fan down to the frame. I am just using a screwdriver on this because I definitely do not want to over tighten this. But once they're in, the fan is ready to go. It's all sealed up. Go ahead and take the cover off of her. There you have it, folks. The Deluxe Maxx Fan Air, Maxx Fan Deluxe, whatever it is. I don't remember what it's called, but it sure looks really cool. Pretty confident it's going to be sealed really good. Pretty stoked.